Welcome to Fantasy Audiobook, Hokage. The attributes are greatly increased. Chapter 61. Perhaps under the command of Kusatake, they could temporarily resist the army for a while, but in the end that was all they could do. They didn't have enough to fight head-on with the combined forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village. You're talking nonsense. The village chief will never abandon us. All the ninjas in Kusanobi village were like angry cheetahs, staring at the coalition forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village. Kitu shook his head disdainfully. Ha ha ha. Poor ant, you are so stupid to believe that 10-year-old child when you are about to die. It's so naive and ridiculous. When Ya looked at the people in Kusanagi village jokingly and said, I originally prepared a big meal for Kusachiba, but it seems that he is very smart and ran away in advance, leaving only you ridiculous people here to take his place. Die. At this moment, Kusachiba's deep voice echoed across the battlefield, a big dinner. Just in time, I've prepared some for you. The combined forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village changed their colors instantly. Kusachiba. Village chief. Everyone in the village, including Kusatake, smiled with joy from the bottom of their hearts. Although they were extremely confident in Kusachiba, they were still a little angry when those people from the coalition forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village wantonly insulted Kusachiba's character. However, Kusachiba never appeared, and they had no reason to resist these hateful enemies. Now that Kusachiba appeared here, everyone immediately breathed a sigh of relief. None of them thought that they would trust this 10-year-old child so much. White Fang and Kitu looked at each other, a cautious look flashing in their eyes. Kusachiba. White Fang smiled coldly and shouted loudly, Trash. You were lucky last time, so you escaped. Unexpectedly, you didn't pack up and escape. How dare you fight us? Ha ha ha, this time, you won't be so lucky. Last time, I don't know which village was killed and abandoned its armor. Today, there are just a few more reinforcements who came to die, and they are confident enough to boast. Kusachiba smiled coldly and said sternly. Kusachiba, kill the big guy. White Fang and Akatsuki were very angry. The last time they were just taken advantage of by Konoha village, they did not think that Kusachiba was qualified to fight with them. All the Cloud Shinobi and Rock Shinobi attacked the Grass Ninja village together. The ninjas of Kusanagi village set their sights on Kusachiba and shouted in unison, Village chief, let us stop them. Kusachiba chuckled, Kusatake, just command everyone to defend the village. Remember, don't go down the city wall. After saying this, Kusachiba instantly rose into the sky. Kusachiba is also particularly reassured about Kusatake's commanding ability. After the baptism of war just now, Kusachiba believes that his mission will not be a problem for him at all. Kusatake raised his arms and shouted loudly, Everyone listen to my orders and kill them. Kill these hateful enemies. Kusachiba instantly crossed a distance of several hundred meters and appeared in front of the combined forces of Cloud Shinobi and Rock Shinobi. Your opponent is us. When Ya and Kitu stopped in front of Kusachiba with a ferocious smile. Boy, you were lucky last time, but this time you are not so lucky, and you can still escape. Sealing technique. Heavy sealing of limbs. When Ya and Kitu looked at each other, and a small scroll suddenly spread out in Ya's hand. Dancing in the air, a strange formation appeared on it, and 4 stone locks were sprayed out instantly. At the same time, many rock shinobi once again performed a large-scale collective ninjutsu at the same time, Earth-style sand technique. This rock shinobi has obviously figured out how to deal with Kusachiba. And this is the feast they prepared for Kusachiba. This time, let's see who else can save you. A sinister smile appeared in Ya's eyes. The entire Kusa Ninja Village ninjas have been surrounded by the coalition forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village. They themselves are in danger, and no one can come to help Kusachiba rescue the siege. A mountain of pressure came in an instant, and at the same time, the 4 stone locks arrived in front of Kusachiba in the blink of an eye. At the same time, facing Rock Shinobi's collective ninjutsu and Bunga and Akatsuchi's sealing techniques, Kusachiba smiled disdainfully. Well done. Today I, Kusachiba, am going to tell the world that the same tricks will have no effect on me. You arrogant brat. A terrifying chakra suddenly appeared on Ya's body, and the speed of the seal scroll instantly became faster. Wind-style tornado fist. A cold drink fell from the sky, and a wind pressure that exceeded everyone's imagination suddenly arrived in front of Rock Shinobi. This wind pressure is extremely terrifying, even countless times more terrifying than the previous lightning tornado. All Rock Shinobi feel a sense of the end of the world. Bump. With a loud noise, Shantu technique was defeated by the Whirlwind Fist. What was even more shocking was that the Whirlwind Fist did not dissipate, and the aftermath instantly defeated Kitu and Wanya's sealing techniques. Kusachiba didn't give everyone in Akatsuki time to react. His figure flashed continuously, and with an explosion of Kage-level physical skills, he instantly crossed the distance between them and appeared in front of the two Wanya. It was so fast that they didn't even react. Unprepared, the fist wind bombarded the two of them, knocking them away instantly. Lord Wenya, Lord Akatsuki. The Rock Shinobi coalition suddenly became restless. In the battlefield, Cloud Shinobi, who was attacking the Grass Ninja Village, also exclaimed at this time. This is impossible. How could your strength improve so much in just a few months? Wenya and Kitu stood up with difficulty, looking at Kusachiba in disbelief. Last time, I just didn't want to kill too many people, so I was merciful. I didn't expect that you really thought I was easy to bully, and you even gathered Cloud Shinobi Village to attack Kushinobi Village. So, today, all of you everyone must stay with me. Kusachiba looked at the two people who had defeated him indifferently. Show mercy. Wenya and Kaito looked at each other. Compared to the reasons given by Kusachiba, they vaguely believed that Kusachiba had improved his strength in the past few months. Unfortunately, this excuse is even more unbelievable. In this world, I'm afraid no one can improve such terrifying strength in such a short period of time, right? If so, then this person is not a genius, but a monster. Must kill him. Wenya and Akatsuchi said, and the chakra on their bodies suddenly increased. Iwagakure, we cannot leave such a terrifying enemy behind. Earth-style clay giant. A clay giant instantly appeared above Kusachiba's head. Earth-style rock missile. Countless rock missiles erupted towards Kusachiba. Compared to your sealing techniques, this one is a bit unsatisfactory. Kusachiba smashed the clay giant with one punch, ignored the attack of rock missiles, and walked slowly towards Wenya and Akatsuki. Is this so scary? Wenya and Kaito felt a sense of fear in their hearts. What about the elite team in the secret passage? Wenya and Kaito seemed to be grasping at a life-saving straw, placing all their hopes on this elite team. Kusachiba, you are very powerful. But you are dead, you know. Wenya rolled his eyes, trying to delay time. Kusachiba looked at these two people with disdain, shook his head contemptuously and said, don't waste your efforts. Are you delaying time because you want to wait for the elite team that has detoured from the secret passage? There is no need to wait for them, because they've already died before you. What? Wenya and Kaito stepped back in shock. This is impossible. How could he discover our plan? Didn't Konoha village say that only the senior officials of Kusakunin village knew about this secret passage? How did he know? Wenya and Kitu's last hope was shattered, and they murmured to themselves with pale faces. People from Konoha village, have you forgotten? Are you and them enemies? Kusachiba squinted his eyes and showed a devilish smile. Seeing that these two people were frightened out of their wits, Kusachiba couldn't help but think about it. Konoha village. Wenya thought that he had been betrayed by Konoha village, and he was so angry that he vomited it out. Akato was also gnashing his teeth in hatred. Konoha village. I want you to die miserably. Okay, the chatting time is over. Die. Kusachiba roared and appeared in front of Wenya and Akatsuki in an instant. He knocked Wenya away with one punch, and knocked Akatsuki away with another punch. There was no time for these two people to leave any last words, and they were instantly smashed into a pulp. Ding. Kill an elite Jonin and get 30 free attribute points. Ding. Kill an elite Jonin and get 30 free attribute points. And you guys. Kusachiba looked up and looked at the remaining rock shinobi with a devilish smile. Run away. All rock shinobi had only one thought left in his mind. Unfortunately, Kusachiba showed no mercy, and screams continued to sound on the battlefield. Ding. Kill a Jonin and get 20 free attribute points. Ding. Kill a Jonin and get 20 free attribute points. Ding. Kill a Chunin and get 10 free attribute points. Continuously harvesting heads, Kusachiba's free point finally ushered in a big bang-like harvest. Arrogant rock shinobi. They misjudged Kusachiba's strength. Moreover, Konoha village actually plotted against them. It's really stupid. Cloud Shinobi, who was attacking Kusanagi village, stopped the attack without hesitation, turned around and ran away. Although, this village with only Chunin left behind could be breached as long as they persisted for a while. But for them, attacking this village has become meaningless. What kind of place do you think this is? Come here whenever you want, leave whenever you want. Just stay here today. Kusachiba roared, his figure flashed again and again, and he started chasing down the dozens of escaping Cloud Shinobi alone. Us, the remaining Chunin in Kusanagi village couldn't help but want to follow Kusachiba to hunt down those Cloud Shinobi. Kusataki recalled Kusachiba's previous instructions, shook his head and said, "Don't go down the city wall. We are also spending a lot of money. It is still a bit reluctant to chase these elite enemies, so don't cause trouble to the village chief." Upon hearing Kusataki's order, all the ninjas of Kusauta village instantly fell to the ground. Kusataki's guess was correct. Following the confrontation between Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village's coalition forces for more than 10 minutes, most of their chakra had been consumed. We just defeated the combined forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village. The village chief is so awesome. He can actually fight against the combined forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village by himself. What is this? Didn't you hear? The village chief took advantage of the 10 minutes before the war started to kill a group of elite enemies. I can't imagine that one day we will be able to resist the attack of the combined forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village. Although this time, there are only 30% enemies, but it is still an incredible achievement. All the ninjas in the Grass Ninja village felt a sense of joy and elation. The Grass Ninja village, which was considered a mere loser in the ninja world, could actually be so tough. Naturally, they were qualified to feel proud. After Kusachiba chased down more than a dozen Cloud Shinobi, he returned to the Grass Ninja village as soon as he was ready. This time, only 30% of the enemy attacked. Kusachiba was not arrogant enough to think that the opponent would be completely helpless and let him kill the remaining enemies. The scale of the war this time is very small, as expected before. This is just a test by the coalition forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village. The real elite have yet to take action. The remaining enemies must not dare to act rashly. So now is the time to show off our strength. Kusachiba chuckled. He didn't have time to sort out his results, but instead called Kusataki to him. The battle report this time will definitely be delivered to the hands of the 5 major countries. But I hope that the results of the battle can be delivered to the hands of our allies at the same speed. Kusachiba looked at Kusataki with burning eyes. This is exciting news, news that is like a shot in the arm, news that can give these small countries confidence in Kusakunin village. Yes, Mr. Village Chief. Kusataki also had a smile on his face. Kusachiba stared at the Grass Ninja village, thought for a moment and said, when conveying the news, by the way, tell these allies that we are about to establish a ninja school. Kusachiba squinted his eyes and thought of a good way to grow and develop. These allies, who have always been the target of bullying, must also have a powerful desire. In this battle, Kusachiba showed the world how powerful he was, so when Kusachiba proposed the establishment of a ninja school, these allies would definitely be interested. Ninja school. Kusataki's face showed a touch of excitement. This is a symbol that only a big country can have. Kusachiba put his hands behind his hands and said leisurely, yes, ninja school. But relying on the current record is definitely not enough. The next battle is the key. As long as we repel the coalition forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village, then there will be no obstacles to the establishment of the ninja school. Kusataki was shaking with excitement. Don't worry, village chief, I will let the world know how powerful the village chief is. Soon, the news of the battle in Kusanagi village reached the offices of the leaders of the 5 major nations as Kusachiba expected. In Konoha village, the target of 3rd generation had a complicated expression on his face. The coalition forces of Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village suffered a big loss. As the enemy, Konoha village should naturally applaud. However, the small neighbor of Kusanobi village, but the growth is incredible. So what? Leave this Kusachiba to the roots. After this battle, I will let those small countries that are ready to take action understand what the majesty of a big country is. Danzo said with a ferocious smile at the desk. Third generation blew out smoke rings and slowly closed its eyes. As for some dark things, he, the village chief, could only pretend to be ignorant. Iwagakure. Tsuchikage is furious in the office. You told me that our rock shinobi test force was wiped out by Kusaku Ninja Village. Tsuchikage's angry voice made the entire office building tremble. Yes, sir. Moreover, according to Cloud Shinobi who survived, Akatsuchi and Fuga seemed to be cursing Konoha Village before they died. Konoha Village should have tricked them. Cloud Shinobi reported a report cautiously and did not dare to be loud. Out. I'm just saying, with the strength of Akatsuki and Fumuga, there's no way they can beat that kid. Is there Konoha Village attacking from behind? Tsuchikage took a deep breath and looked at the sky solemnly. Konoha Village. Very good. I originally thought that Konoha Village would do anything to kill the Grass Ninja Village, but now it seems that this third-generation project is really capable of laying such a sinister trap. So should we call back the army that attacked Kusanagi Village? Cloud Shinobi asked cautiously while reporting. Tsuchikage smiled coldly and said in a deep voice, summoned back. No, on the contrary, I want their entire army to attack. Whether Shukaku is in the Kusunin village or not, I will see the destruction of the Kusunin village. Konoha Village now has enemies on all sides, and they can only use some intrigues. Don't worry, as long as we attack openly, we don't need to be afraid of any intrigues. Tsuchikage said, looking deeply at this subordinate. The same thing happened in Cloud Shinobi Village. Sunagakure, an ally formed by the Grass Ninja Village, also received the news. Did this kid actually resist the attack of the Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi Village coalition forces by himself? Chio looked at the information in his hand in surprise. Ebizo chuckled. Kusachiba has such a strong strength, which is of great benefit to us. 30% of the army was almost completely destroyed. The previous trial battle made them deeply aware of the terror of Kusachiba. Within a few days, Tsuchikage and Reikage came to the battlefield. After meeting, both parties saw a dignified look in each other's eyes. I declare that if you encounter Kusachiba while performing a mission, you can give up the mission and it will not be a shame. Rock Shinobi Village Tsuchikage Onoki said deeply at this time. This was a helpless move, but he had to do it. With his physical training already reaching Kage level strength, coupled with the already terrifying immortal body, Kusachiba may not be strong enough to compete head-on with these veteran Kage-level warriors, but on the battlefield its lethality is even worse than those of these veteran Kage-level experts. Cloud Shinobi Village, the same. Reikage agreed helplessly. They don't want to do this, but they have to do it, because only in this way can they preserve their strength. Otherwise, you are sending yourself to death. So, for this battle, Reikage-sama and I are secretly wary of possible attacks from the Land of Fire. The rest will wait. Reikage and Onoki began to discuss the details of the next war. In the Grass Ninja Village, Kusachiba looked at his system panel with satisfaction. In the last battle, Kusachiba once again gained a large amount of attribute points. More than 1,000 points. My single target killing ability is already very strong now, so it would be a waste to improve my physical skills. Instead, it would be better to improve my ability to kill large numbers of people. Kusachiba couldn't help but think of those who were hunting down Cloud Shinobi Village before. Ninja. If there had been the ability to cause mass destruction at that time, I am afraid that none of those people would have been able to escape. Then I'll add the fire style attribute first. Fire has the greatest lethality. Add a dot. Kusachiba first raised the fire attribute to 599 points, the top level of Kage level. Then he spent 599 attribute points to upgrade Fire Style Fire Dragon Technique to Ultimate. However, when Kusachiba upgraded Fire Dragon Technique to Ultimate, this ninjutsu has changed. Ding! Fire Style Fire Dragon Technique is upgraded to Ultimate and automatically evolves into Fire Style Giant Fire Dragon Technique. Fire Style Giant Fire Dragon Technique is the evolved ninjutsu of Fire Dragon Technique. Its power is Super S level, and it has unparalleled killing range and lethality. Kusachiba was surprised. Can it still evolve? Ding! Teishu. 599 Super Kage level, 600 to 800. Ninjutsu. 300 points plus Jonin level, 200 to 400. Illusion. 242 points plus Jonin level, 200 to 300. Attributes: Wind 10, Thunder 0, Water 0, Fire 599, Earth 0, Yang 0, Yin 0. Eye Technique: 0 points, not up to standard. Sage Body: 599 points, top Sage Body level, 300 to 600. Blood Succession Limit: 0 points, not reaching the standard. Special Skills: Wind Style Tornado Fist 99, Fire Style Giant Fire Dragon Technique 599. Adding points this time will consume all the skill points Kusachiba got from the battlefield. But the combat effectiveness has also increased exponentially. I wonder what kind of strength this so-called Giant Fire Dragon Technique has. Kusachiba clenched his fists. Wait and try its power. And the ninjas in the village. It's time for them to add more. Kusachiba has currently sent out all the masters in the village to search and kill spies from all forces. Coupled with the gains from the previous battlefields, it can actually improve the strength of many ninjas. At this time, many ninjas in the Grass Ninja village were either recovering from their injuries in the village or performing tasks outside. Although the Grass Ninja village had a complete victory in the previous battle, it also suffered heavy losses. 30% of the ninjas were seriously injured and would have died without special medical treatment, and the remaining ninjas were all injured. Kusachiba was walking in the Grass Ninja village with a solemn look on his face. One by one, the wounded were wailing. Let me go, I'm going to die with those enemies. Ah, kill me, please kill me, I don't want to endure this kind of pain anymore. There were screams everywhere in the village. There are not enough medical ninjas, and there are not enough drugs and medical equipment. Today's Kusanagi village seems to be in a desperate situation. With this appearance, they have no fighting power without the enemy attacking. A thin child was trying to hold down an injured Chunin. When he saw Kusachiba walking by, he stood up in a panic. Village chief. It turns out that war is so painful. Kusachiba's eyes were full of solemnity. Although the war spread outside was so glorious, only the Kusakunin village itself knew the real pain. System: give me more points. Add them all to the physical skills of these ninjas. Kusachiba no longer hesitated and added all the extra attribute points from this battle to the taijutsu of these ninjas. Only in this way can we relieve their pain. In contrast, the improvement in strength is not noticed much by Kusachiba. Oh, the ninja who was struggling and begging others to kill him slowly stopped struggling, with a look of quiet peace on his face. I seem to have become stronger. My injury seems to be healed. The same situation happened to other injured ninjas throughout the village. What is going on? The child looked at all this in shock. Not only the ninja he was taking care of, but also the overwhelming screams in the entire village suddenly disappeared. Perhaps our tenacity moved the gods, so the gods sent healing spells. Kusachiba said with a smile. At the same time, the Rain Shinobi village ninjas who were fighting outside suddenly felt their power increase. And the increase this time is not small. Under this increase, when they were fighting against the enemy, their strength suddenly increased greatly, and they quickly killed the enemy, which allowed Kusachiba to gain more than 100 attribute points again. Did you move the gods? The child's eyes were full of yearning. The idea of moving the gods spread throughout Rain Shinobi village. It seems that this is the only way to explain everything in front of me. Rain Shinobi village, which was originally on the verge of destruction, not only recovered all the wounded, but the strength of these wounded has also improved. Most of them have even reached Jonin level. A dozen more Jonin have appeared. This time, our village's strength has been greatly enhanced. A look of surprise flashed across Kusataki's face. We must do a good job of keeping secrets, so that in the next war, we can give the enemy a head-on blow. Kusataki couldn't help but think of a strategy to hide his strength. No, I seem to have ignored the most important Konoha village. A solemn look flashed in Kusachiba's eyes. Konoha village will definitely take action. But they have to take care of their own face and cannot face us openly. Take action, so they will definitely send special forces. That is to say, what we are about to face may be an attack from the 3 major ninja villages. Kusotaki said solemnly. Looks like it's time to summon back those Jonin who were sent out. Kusachiba smiled as he thought of the ninjas from Kusanagi village who were sent out to kill enemies constantly and whose strength was greatly increased by his own points. Their strength, I'm afraid, can't be of much help. Kusataki looked at Kusachiba in confusion. Kusachiba chuckled and didn't explain anything. By the way, the three major ninja villages of Konoha, Rock Shinobi, and Cloud Shinobi are taking action. The situation is complicated, and there will definitely be discussions and wrangling for a long time. Moreover, we can sow discord. Kusataki nodded. The three ninja villages all have evil intentions. The country of grass has few resources, so they will definitely go to war to compete for resources. It should be easier to sow discord. By the way, village chief, our village is seriously short of ninja tools, detonating charms and other supplies, which will greatly reduce the combat effectiveness of our grass ninja village. Ninja tools and detonating charms. Kusa Chiba frowned. In the ninja world, sophisticated ninja tools can even increase a ninja's strength by more than half. For example, among the 7 ninja swordsmen, explosive sword Fei-Mo, and the guy whose explosion is an art. These people rely on their wealth to buy high-end ninja tools and detonating charms to improve their personal experience. Kusa Chiba has no money, and the grass ninja village has no money, but he doesn't care. During the Great Ninja War, what does money mean? Grab it directly. The target is naturally BDEC, Craftsman Ninja Village. The Craftsman Ninja Village was founded by the famous ninja craftsman Kingming, who is good at making and using ninja tools. They provide ninja tools for ninjas from all over the world. The distance between the Artisan Ninja Village and the Grass Ninja Village is only a few hours away. A few hours later, Kusa Chiba appears in the Takumi village. Stop. This is the Artisan Ninja Village. Who are you? What are you doing in the D Ninja Village? The gatekeeper of the D Ninja Village dutifully took the leaf down. Kusa Chiba chuckled lightly and said calmly, when guests arrive, is this how your Craftsman Nin village treats guests? Guest. The doorman looked at Kusa Chiba suspiciously. No wonder he didn't regard Kusa Chiba as a guest. In fact, Kusa Chiba's young appearance was too deceptive. Who would believe that a child over 10 years old could be a guest? I am the representative of Kusanagi village, and I want to negotiate a business deal. Kusa Chiba added the words, Rob, in his mind. Grass Ninja Village. The guard retracted his weapon and muttered, why is business so good recently? Konoha just came in front. Have you just been to Konoha village? Kusa Chiba squinted his eyes, revealing a glint of light. Yes, the war in the ninja world is getting more and more intense. Even Konoha village has to rely on the ninja tools made by our Craftsman Ninja Village to support it. Boy, you have a good sense and know how to choose the ninja tools from the Craftsman Ninja Village. This one. The guard raised his chin proudly. Kusa Chiba ignored his arrogance and murmured in his heart, anyway, we have already broken up with Konoha village, so now that we have the opportunity to customize ninja tools from Konoha village, don't blame me for being rude. The moment Kusa Chiba entered the door, the uncle from Takumi Ninja Village recognized Kusa Chiba's identity. Kusa Chiba, the village chief of Kusa Ninja Village, has arrived. Takumi Ninja Village is in full bloom. I don't know if you need some. What equipment? Kusa Chiba squinted his eyes at the other person, knowing that this person was one of the leaders of the Takumi Ninja Village, probably a character among the 4 elephants, right? Although his strength was not very good, he developed the kind of ultimate that could be absorbed. The ninja tool is really good. Do you know my identity? Kusa Chiba asked calmly. The uncle laughed and said, who in the entire ninja world doesn't know Kusa Chiba's name? Even Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village have already issued orders. If they meet Kusa Chiba, even if the mission fails, it's not a shame. Haha, did it spread so quickly? Kusa Chiba said modestly, but in his heart he couldn't help but think of Kusataki. All of this is Kusataki's credit. This boy is really a capable man. No matter how powerful the Grass Ninja Village is, it still needs publicity. Otherwise, who in the ninja world will recognize you? They think you are just a bumpkin from a mountain den. I want a set of shurikens and armor. Such a little thing. Sir, why do you have to come here in person? The uncle was planning in his mind how to sell the news of Kusa Chiba's appearance in Takunin village to the enemies of Kusa Ninja Village such as Cloud Shinobi Village and Konoha Village, but his words were ordinary. Continue to compliment. Kusa Chiba said meaningfully. By the way, the shuriken I want is the Dragon Eye retractable sword, and the armor is the Infinite Whole armor. What? The uncle was shocked. Kusa Chiba, who are you? How could you possibly know such secrets of our ninja village? A cold look appeared on the uncle's face. 3 other masters from the Craft Ninja Village came to this blacksmith shop. Kusa was surrounded. Of these 3 ninjas, one is a child with a spiteful face, the other is an innocent girl, and there is a man who is silent and doesn't speak much. The old man from before slowly straightened up. He looked at Kusa and revealed a sinister smile. No matter where you got the news, but since you know it, then stay here. The craftsman ninja village is really hopeless. How can you treat your customers like this in business? No wonder it hasn't developed. Kusa shook his head disdainfully. HMPH, kid, since you know the 4 major ninja tools in our Takumi ninja village, you must also know their power. I'll give you a chance. Be obedient and let me seal your memory, and you can leave Takumi alive. Ninja village. The uncle looked at Kusa confidently and said. The other 3 ninjas also looked confident at this time. Obviously in their hearts, even Kusa, who was famous in the ninja world during the 3 battles, would not be their opponent with the 4 major ninja tools. What if I don't want to? Kusa cold eyes exuded a faint light. If anyone familiar with him was here, they would probably know that Kusa was angry. I originally came to the craftsman ninja village to make ninja tools without giving me any money, but now that you are acting like this, it's better for me to default on the debt. Chiba sneered in his heart. In that case, let's try your skills, let's try it. While talking, the 4 ninjas had already formed their formation. HMPH, let me teach you a lesson and let you know who you can't mess with. Kusa snorted coldly. The 4 elephants were angry in their hearts and shouted, arrogant. In an instant, a 3 to 4 meter long chakra dragon appeared in the child's hand and rushed towards Kawutu. In the woman's hand, a wind slash struck Kusa. The 2 men summoned a large water dragon to rush towards Kusa, and at the same time, countless lightsabers shot towards Kusa. This is the joint secret skill of the 4 elephants. If there is sufficient chakra, they can even join forces to summon the ultimate weapon of the Takumi ninja village, Kingming. This is also their plot to dominate the ninja world. They use the power of the tailed beasts to summon the ultimate weapon and then rule the ninja world. It is precisely because of this that when Kusa destroyed their joint ninja tool, they appeared here instantly to keep Kusa behind. At the moment, although the 4 elephants have not summoned Kingming, in their opinion, it is enough to deal with the child Kusa. HMPH, I'll just use you to test the ninjutsu I just upgraded. Ninjutsu Giant Fire Dragon Jutsu. Kusa quickly formed seals. Ang. Suddenly, a huge fire dragon 100 meters long appeared around Kusa. Surround, circle. This fire dragon is as exquisite as a real dragon. Whether it is its scales or its eyes, it makes people feel a trembling from the soul. The attack of the 4 elephants was so easily resisted by Kusa fire dragon, but not even the scales of the fire dragon were harmed at all. What? Quote. OMG. What kind of ninjutsu is this? The 4 elephants looked at this one in front of them blankly, a super dragon. Unlike other ninjutsu that cannot be controlled after being launched, Kusa ninjutsu is like a fire dragon summoned by a summoning technique. It just keeps wandering around Kusa with an aura of contempt for the world. And, it still hasn't left. It seems like it can last forever. Compared with Kusa ninjutsu, the ninjutsu they just did seemed like a joke. The faces of the 4 elephants turned pale, and the fingers pointing at Kusa were trembling. I didn't expect this ninjutsu to be so amazing. Kusa heart Chunin couldn't help but be surprised. The 100-meter-long giant dragon actually performed the 100-meter-long dragon, and it didn't seem to be a one-time event, but a continuous one. In addition, he felt that the chakra he consumed was not very much, it was only equivalent to casting an A-level ninjutsu. It is indeed the ultimate ninjutsu after system upgrade. Kusa looked at the 4 elephants with a strong murderous intent in his eyes. What are you going to do? The 4 elephants were on guard and afraid. Haha, is this what I should ask you? Kusa cold eyes were full of murderous intent. He scanned the eyes of the 4 elephants, and these 4 people subconsciously wanted to dodge. We are willing to build ninja tools for you. The leading uncle had no courage to fight Kusa at this time. The other 3-4 heavenly astronomers also had unlucky looks on their faces, obviously thinking that what they had just done was a slap in the face. Is it just a matter of making ninja tools? Shouldn't there be punishment for your mistakes? Kusachiba waved his hand to remove the giant fire dragon technique. Looking at the four people, a playful smile flashed in his eyes. This guy. The four heavenly elephants looked at each other, with deep regret in their eyes. If possible, they would rather not provoke Kusachiba, but now, they obviously have no regrets. 0. Say it. The four-dimensional elephant man finally bowed his head. Give me 500,000 explosive talismans, and at the same time make a set of ninja tools as mentioned before, and then give me the delivery time of Konoha village. Kusachiba's eyes flashed, and he looked at the four people with a faint look, said. 500,000 explosive talismans. The four elephant heavenly beings were about to explode when Kusachiba made his first request. What is the concept of 500,000 explosive talismans? I'm afraid it can easily decide a small battle. A victory in a large-scale war, right? But when they saw Kusachiba's cold gaze, they couldn't help but lower their heads, not daring to have any idea of bargaining with Kusachiba. Nowadays, people are fighting for their own good, and they obviously know the reputation of Kusachiba, and they don't dare to try to criticize Chiba easily. When they heard Kusachiba's request, their expressions became expressionless. However, after hearing the last request, they raised their heads instantly. Trading time. A hint of worry flashed in Peacock's eyes. As smart people, they naturally know what Kusachiba's purpose is in asking about the trading time now. This is Konoha village, how dare you? Even Long Yan, who was fearless, was in disbelief, too. Kusachiba looked at the four people calmly. These are not things you can worry about. The four celestial beings reluctantly chose to surrender. Konoha's deal is tonight. Late at night, the Takumi Ninja Village and Konoha have officially entered into a deal. The total value is about 50 million, including ninja tools, detonating charms, military food pills, etc. Really, this is a ninja tool worth 50 million. Why doesn't the village send some experts to escort it? A ninja from Konoha village muttered with some dissatisfaction. Another ninja who seemed to be the leader scolded. This transaction is so secretive, why does it need to be escorted? Those powerful adults have more important things to do. Don't complain, this is still a for an S-level mission. If it weren't for the fact that the adults are too busy and have no time, how could it be our turn? I'm just complaining. The ninja shrugged his shoulders, looked at the dozen or so chunin escorting him, and said arrogantly, actually, even with our current strength, we are not ordinary enemies. You can provoke them. Even those powerful enemies don't know that what we are trying to attract is a ninja tool worth tens of millions. So, is this escort a ninja tool worth 50 million? Kusachiba covered his face and appeared in front of everyone with a chuckle. Did the enemy really show up? The leading ninja glanced at his subordinates bitterly. In his opinion, it was this subordinate who leaked the secret and provoked the enemy. We are the escort team of Konoha village. Friends, you have to think about the consequences of offending our Konoha village. The leading ninja looked at Kusachiba with a cautious look and said. Kusachiba laughed disdainfully. Is Konoha village amazing? Looking for death. The ninjas of Konoha village were instantly furious. Ninjutsu. Giant fire dragon jutsu. Kusachiba used his strongest ninjutsu without hesitation. A lifelike fire dragon more than 100 meters long appeared in front of Kusachiba. After previous attempts in the Takumi ninja village, Kusachiba has already figured out the power of this ninjutsu. Now used to deal with these Konoha village ninjas, it is completely overqualified. What kind of ninjutsu is this? Fire dragon jutsu. Many ninjas in Konoha village looked at this huge fire dragon in shock. This is not the fire dragon technique. The fire dragon technique cannot have such terrifying power. Everyone, be careful. Feeling the soul-trembling power, the 10 Jonin who led the team showed a look of concentration. Go. Kusachiba was not in the mood to talk nonsense with these people. He waved his hand gently, and the fire dragon rushed towards the people of Konoha village with a huge force. Boom. In just a blink of an eye, the fire dragon arrived in front of everyone. Water-style big wave. Water-style water rapids. Water-style Great Falls technique. Countless water styles were cast to face the huge fire dragon. Haha, how can this water style be useful? Kusachiba sneered disdainfully and looked at the fire dragon and slapped its tail. turning all the water styles into mist, while the fire dragon continued to pounce on the Konoha shinobi. No, feeling the hot power, many people were frightened and ran away. Facing this kind of power, they have no power to resist at all. Many ninjas were instantly evaporated. Even the Jonin from Konoha village was instantly defeated by this powerful ninjutsu and was unable to resist. What kind of ninjutsu is this? How could there be such a terrifying ninjutsu in fire style? This Jonin looked at Kusachiba unwillingly and asked. He couldn't believe that someone could defeat this team of more than a dozen special Jonin led by Jonin with just one move. What frightened him even more was yet to come. Only a dragon roar was heard, and the giant dragon that killed everyone had not dissipated yet. It turned its head and returned to Kusachiba, seemingly without any consumption. After killing so many Chunin and defeating this Jonin, this fire dragon is still so vigorous. I am afraid that it is just the legendary wooden golem jutsu, right? This Jonin already has a strong feeling in his heart, fear. This is the simplest fire-style fire dragon technique. Kusachiba smiled softly. If it were not to avoid destroying this batch of ninja tools, this Jonin would not have survived. But now, Kusachiba casually killed this Jonin and looked at the dozens of attribute points he had gained without paying much attention. Putting the ninja tools on the ground into his own space, Kusachiba returned to the Takumi ninja village. You actually succeeded in IP. The 4 people in Zuo ninja village looked at Kusachiba tremblingly. They had just felt the terrifying trembling outside the village. This trembling was exactly the same as the effect of Kusachiba's use of the fire dragon ninjutsu during the day. Where is what I want? Kusachiba looked at the 4 frightened guys calmly. The 4 celestials originally wanted to regret it, but now that they saw Kusachiba forcefully killing the guards of Konoha village, how could they dare to resist? They gritted their teeth and handed over all the 500,000 explosive charms stored in the village. Even the weapons of the 4 of them had to be handed over to Kusachiba. Dragon Eye Telescopic Sword, Infinite Whole Armor, these. Originally, they had ambitions to use this ninja tool to snatch a tailed beast, and finally use the tailed beast's terrifying chakra to combine these 4 ninja tools to summon their ultimate ninja tool. Unfortunately, in the face of the threat to their lives, all their ambitions had to be extinguished. You guys know each other. With the affairs of Kusanagi village in mind, Kusachiba was too lazy to follow the 4 guys and threw these supplies into the space scroll and left the Takumi ninja village. Over at Kusakunin village, the war is about to begin. We must rush back. A few hours later, Kusachiba returned to Kusanagi village. Kusachiba patrolled around and found that the defense of Kusanagi village was very good, and he couldn't help but nodded with satisfaction. After such a long period of killing, the ninja strength of these grass ninja villages has finally caught up. Village Chief Kusataki was handling official duties in the office when he found Kusachiba back, and he was suddenly surprised. Kusachiba looked at Kusataki and found that Kusataki's strength was a bit low. You deal with official duties all day long and don't take part in much fighting, right? It's really hard to do all the work. Kusataki lowered his head in embarrassment. Kusachiba chuckled, and casually threw the ninja tool he snatched from the Takumi ninja village to Kusataki and said, "This set of ninja tools has Kage level power. You will take this ninja tool into the battle tomorrow." Bar. Is there going to be a battle tomorrow? A solemn look flashed in Kusataki's eyes. Should be able to do it. Kusachiba couldn't help but think of the news of his appearance in Takumi ninja village. Rock Shinobi village and Cloud Shinobi village may have already known the news, right? In this case, there is no reason for them to continue to wait. So, tonight you follow me and arrange these explosive charms. Kusachiba threw the explosive charms from the space. Including those stolen from Konoha village, Chiba now has more than 1.5 million explosive charms. You must know that even in the famous ambush battle of Kikyo Mountain in Hokage, Konoha village only used more than 1 million explosive charms. This completely severely damaged Sunagakur, leaving Sunagakur completely without the ability to fight against Konoha village. Today, although Kusanobi village is facing the coalition forces of Rock Shinobi village and Cloud Shinobi village, neither of these 2 countries has sent their most elite troops. Before, 30% of the army consisted of just over 200 elite ninjas, but now faced with the number of the coalition forces, Kusachiba guessed it at once. For elite ninjas who only have less than 1,000, these 1.5 million explosive talismans are enough for these people to drink a pot. Kusachiba finished placing the explosive talismans with a slight smile in his eyes. With so many explosive symbols, the enemy is dead this time. Kusatake looked at the night sky excitedly, wishing that daylight would come faster. At this time, in the coalition camp, Tsuchikage and Raikage were also sitting in their seats with cautious expressions. We don't know the attitude of Konoha village yet, but judging from their previous insidiousness, we have to be on guard. Tsuchikage Onoki said solemnly. Raikage nodded, then I will lead the team to attack the grass ninja village. You take a few people to guard against the sneak attack of Konoha village. This time, this hateful grass ninja village must come. Then when will we attack Kusanagi village? Tsuchikage couldn't help but think of Kusachiba. This kid is really powerful. With him in the village, it doesn't seem to be easy to attack. Report. At this moment, a spy hurriedly walked in. Report to Mr. Tsuchikage. Konoha village has sent important information. The spy delivered the information to Onoki. Onoki smiled coldly. What information is Konoha village sending here now? Do they think we will still believe him? Let's take a look. Raikage glanced at the information noncommittally, but his expression suddenly changed. What? Kusachiba appeared in the Takumi ninja village. Raikage couldn't help but read out this information. Onoki also changed his expression. This Kusachiba, how dare you go to the country of Takumi before the battle? Ha ha ha, God helps me. Kusachiba is a greedy guy, I will make him pay a sufficient price now. Tsuchikage instantly became overjoyed. Raikage said calmly, can Konoha village be trusted? They have betrayed us more than once. Onoki was stunned for a moment, but then he laughed. It doesn't matter if you believe it or not. Anyway, we will attack Kusanagi village sooner or later, so what's the benefit of delaying it? In this case, we might as well take a gamble. Okay, pass the order and attack Konoha village early tomorrow morning. Raikage slowly closed his eyes. Raikage was no longer looking forward to the results or achievements of this war. What he was looking forward to more was the feeling of pride after defeating the grass ninja village. The 5 majestic countries were defeated repeatedly by a small grass ninja village. Their appearance was really not very good. In the early morning of the next day, Kusachiba's eyes were slightly lost in the city, and he stood on the city wall and carefully looked at the allied army's garrison in the distance. Are they really going to attack in the early morning? Kusatake equipped the 4 ninja tools given to him by Kusachiba and looked at the direction of the coalition forces with excitement. The corner of Kusachiba's mouth raised a nice curve. Don't worry, I will definitely do it. As soon as Kusachiba finished speaking, countless figures appeared in the distance. The coalition forces finally set off at this moment. Raikage took the lead in killing towards the grass ninja village. Kusachiba raised his hand and fired several kunai. Whoosh whoosh, several sounds broke through the air, and Raikage, who was speeding, slowly stopped. Kusachiba, it's you. Raikage stood there, looking at Kusachiba who appeared on the city wall, a little surprised. Isn't it in the land of craftsmen? Konoha really can't be trusted. But he soon laughed contemptuously. But, so what? Kusachiba, you'd better accept the fate of failure. Kusachiba sneered at the top of the city. Failed. I'm afraid you are happy too early. The ones who really want to fail are not us, but you. Justice will eventually defeat evil. And you hateful invaders will eventually get what they want. You deserve the retribution you deserve. Ha 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 ha, you grass ninjas are really naive. Very good. Since you are so stubborn, don't blame me for being rude. Raikage smiled coldly, slowly raised his right hand, and was about to pour blood on the grass ninjas. Village order. Suddenly, I felt an unusual fluctuation. No. Run away. Kusachiba sneered. A super trap made of 1.5 million detonating talismans was placed at the main entrance. It is you people who are betting. You think you will win because of your huge power advantage. You will be self-righteous and attack the main entrance openly. As soon as he finished speaking, Raikage rushed towards the grass ninja village without hesitation. Even Raikage felt a crisis that made his hair stand on end. There are more than 1.5 million explosive symbols, which is a kind of power that even Kage-level experts cannot confront head-on. Not to mention more than 1.5 million explosive symbols. Even if there are hundreds of thousands of explosive symbols, in the battle between Kage-level experts, they will not easily fight head-on. It was at this moment that Raikage flew out. Boom! A burst of earth-shaking explosions resounded from all around and beneath the coalition forces. What happened? Tsuchikage Onoki was originally guarding Konoha village with a few masters when he suddenly felt the ground shaking. He couldn't help but look back and saw a scene he would never forget. This scene was originally Tsunagaku's fate, and it was an even more tragic fate. Countless masters were ambushed by Konoha village using explosive talismans and suffered heavy losses. Now, Tsunagaku did not face such a tragedy at Mount Kikyo. Instead, the coalition forces of Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village experienced this unforgettable scene. Even though this army only contained less than 1/5 of Iwagaku's power, Onoki still felt a heart-wrenching despair. Ah, my body. Help. Asterisk. Countless Chunin and Genin were killed in this explosion. Even among the Jonin, a small number were killed directly, and the remaining ones were all injured. Raikage was the only one who was hit by the aftermath of the explosion and suffered minor injuries. Lightning style speed is really surprising. It can escape from the center of the explosive symbol. Kusachiba's eyes narrowed into thin slits. Raikage spit out a mouthful of blood, looked at Kusachiba angrily and shouted, "Kusachiba, you despicable villain. You actually use such despicable and cruel methods." Ha ha ha. Kusachiba laughed and shook his head, looked at Raikage and said lightly, "Raikage, just because you two big country ninja villages jointly attacked a small grass ninja village, you are worthy of being here. Call me despicable. Isn't it the truth that you, the 5 major nations, have been saying all the time? Konoha village, you tricked us again." Raikage took a deep breath, his resentment towards Konoha reaching its peak. "But now, I decided to teach Kusachiba a harsh lesson. Everyone says you are a genius, so today I am going to see how strong a genius you are." Raikage looked at Kusachiba through gritted teeth. Is Raikage finally going to take action himself? Kusachiba was slightly shocked. There is no doubt about Raikage's strength. Just escaping from the 1.5 million explosive symbols, you can see how terrifying Raikage's speed is. No wonder it is said to be as fast as Yellow Flash. In addition, Raikage can use the Hell Thrust and Shiban Gunsho known as the strongest spear, and the Thunder Armor Shield of the strongest shield, making his strength even slightly stronger than Tsuchikage. Raikage is an old man with dark skin, long light yellow hair, and a long beard. He has a very tough body, a lightning-shaped scar on his chest, and a tattoo of the word, thunder, on his right shoulder. At this time, he spread lightning-style chakra all over his body, making his whole body look like a blue lightning madman. Kusachiba knows that when he uses the lightning-style chakra mode, his defense can be greatly improved, and he can also use the thunder body flicker technique, which will greatly increase his speed. This mode is called lightning-style chakra mode. At this moment, Raikage has concentrated chakra on 4 fingers, obviously preparing to use the 4-finger penetrating hand, which is second only to the strongest spear. No matter how powerful you are, it's over here. Raikage slowly moved forward. Lightning-style 4-finger penetration hands. Raikage's hands formed seals like phantoms, and the terrifying chakra instantly burst out from his fingertips. Does the strongest shield match the use of the strongest spear? Then, fire-style giant fire dragon technique. Kusachiba squinted his eyes and also formed seals quickly, and a fire dragon more than 100 meters long appeared around him instantly. Surround. Ah! The fire dragon roared all day long, as if the entire time and space had been frozen. How is that possible? On the battlefield, everyone stared blankly at the 100-meter dragon in the sky. Lifelike, just like a real living dragon. Raikage turned into a ray of light and shadow which happened to hit the 10 fire dragons. Boom! The violent collision resounded throughout the Kusanagi village, and many genin and even the weak chunin couldn't help but fall to the ground. The fire dragon was directly pierced through a section of its body, and flames flew everywhere, but it finally blocked the lightning-style 4-finger penetrating hand. He actually resisted Raikage-sama's attack. Such a terrifying fire style, what kind of ninjutsu is this? Is this guy a monster? Why did his strength suddenly improve so quickly? Tsuchikage and many Rock Shinobi village ninjas who were watching the battle looked at all this in shock. This time, Li Zhao must eradicate this kid. Otherwise, with his terrifying progress, he may become our biggest enemy. Onoki's eyes revealed murderous intent. The grass ninja village has become one of their biggest enemies. If Kusachiba continues to be allowed to grow, I am afraid it will become a major disaster for them. Kage stood there tremblingly, his strongest shield not broken, but his strongest shield also failed to defeat Chuyi's fire dragon. Although the fire dragon was seriously damaged, it still roared back to Kusachiba's side. My chakra consumption is serious, but this kid still seems to be unable to see the depth. Let Tsuchikage deal with him. Such an idea flashed in Kage's mind. Let me do it. Tsuchikage walked out slowly. Let me do it. Tsuchikage walked over slowly, and at this time he also wanted to take the credit. After all, Kusachiba had just used such a powerful ninjutsu. Tsuchikage felt that Kusachiba would not have so much chakra since he was so young. Kusachiba, you are despicable and shameless in using such methods. This time I will let you know what regret is. Tsuchikage looked at Kusachiba with a sneer. Kusachiba chuckled lightly, if you want to fight in a carousel, just say so. This is the method that your 5 major countries like to use. Why are you pretending to scold me here? As he spoke, Kusachiba activated his immortal body. In an instant, an invisible momentum burst out from Kusachiba's body. Seeing that both Kage and Tsuchikage Onoki were about to take action, Kusatake also wore a 4-piece set of ultimate ninja tools and slowly flew up. For a moment, the entire city wall of Sao Ninja Village was filled with flying sand and rocks, blocking out the sky and the sun. This is Kage level. Kage looked at Kusotake and couldn't help being surprised. Tsuchikage said in disbelief, is this another Kage level strongman? Why is there another Kage level expert in Kusanagi village? Originally, in their plan, the entire grass ninja village only had one Kage level expert, Kusachiba. It is precisely because of this that even if they encounter an ambush, it is not impossible for them to forcibly destroy the grass ninja village. But now, looking at the child with the aura of a Kage level strongman appearing next to Kusachiba, Kage couldn't help but hesitate. Forget it. Let's see the result of the battle between Tsuchikage and Kusachiba. If we can defeat this kid, then we won't be in a hurry to destroy the Kusanagi village. Kage slowly took back the chakra. In the battle with Kusachiba just now, he used the strongest spear and the strongest shield at the same time, which consumed a lot of chakra. Now that a second Kage level strongman appeared on the opposite side, he naturally didn't want to act rashly. Kusachiba felt that everything around him suddenly became extremely quiet. Dust escape limited stripping technique. Onoki quickly formed seals with his hands, instantly forming a cone barrier in his hands and launching it towards Kusachiba. This barrier is extremely terrifying. It can separate the opponent into atomic state and destroy it, and it can also produce a large-scale explosion. Even Susanoo, the clone of Uchiha Madara's wood style, is completely unable to withstand the intensity of this attack. But now, it was used by Tsuchikage without hesitation to deal with Kusachiba. Kusachiba concentrated and held his breath, and at this time he used his strongest ninjutsu without giving in, fire-style giant fire dragon technique. A huge fire dragon appeared and instantly appeared in front of the cone barrier. Tsuchikage smiled coldly. HMPH. My boundary stripping technique can separate all enemies into their atomic state. Can you actually resist it? The rock shinobi village ninjas all looked to the sky. They all know clearly how powerful this ninjutsu is. But when they saw the fire dragon hitting the cone barrier head-on, everyone's eyes widened with expressions of disbelief. I saw that fire dragon with a thundering roar, swallowing the cone barrier forcibly. Although this fire dragon was instantly shattered by the power of the barrier, the result of such a close match was still unacceptable. How is this possible? Bideg, what kind of ninjutsu is this? Tsuchikage's expression changed completely. He actually underestimated Kusachiba's progress. Those rock shinobi and cloud shinobi also changed their colors. How long has it been since then? This kid has learned such a powerful ninjutsu. This is probably beyond the S-level ninjutsu, right? Nonsense. This must be beyond S-level ninjutsu. After all, Onoki-sama's ninjutsu is a super S-level ninjutsu. His ninjutsu can compete with Onoki-sama, and it is also a super S-level ninjutsu. What a terrifying talent. I really don't know how powerful he will be when we meet next time. Even though these rock shinobi cloud shinobi have experienced hundreds of battles, they still feel a mountain of pressure in their hearts, making their hearts extremely heavy. This ninjutsu is so powerful, it must consume a lot of chakra, right? So now, after using the Super S ninjutsu twice, how much chakra do you still have to deal with our attacks? Onoki naturally felt even more terrifying. Crisis, he looked at Kusachiba with a ferocious smile and said lightly. That's right. This kid used Super S ninjutsu twice in succession. He is still so young, he definitely doesn't have chakra anymore. HMPH, so what if you have a strong talent? Without chakra, can you still resist our attacks? These rock shinobi, who had lost confidence, instantly became bright-eyed. If they were really given the hope of killing Kusachiba, they would naturally not give up. However, at this moment, Kusachiba had a disdainful smile on his lips. Want to see how much chakra I still have? Kusachiba quickly formed seals with both hands, ninjutsu, giant fire dragon jutsu. The third fire dragon appeared on the battlefield again. In an instant, everyone once again felt the terrifying heat that seemed to melt everything. Even if they were glanced at by that fire dragon, those ninjas below Jonin could feel their souls burning. Kusachiba looked at Tsuchikage with a sneer, and what if there is no chakra? You guys have really forgotten my most powerful move. After Kusachiba said this, he disappeared on the city wall instantly. It was at this time that the fire dragon rushed towards Tsuchikage with boundless power. Disappeared. All the rock shinobi looked around, trying to find the location of Kusachi. Being distracted on the battlefield is a fatal oversight. Kusachiba's voice sounded like the voice of a devil. Chapter 71. All rock shinobi looked up instantly, in the sky. The next moment, they discovered that Kusachiba had landed on the ground with a crash, like a wolf among sheep, and began to kill those genin who had no ability to protect themselves. And the Tsuchikage was completely entangled by Kusachiba's fire dragon, and there was no chance of rescuing them. Death. Kusachiba's figure flashed repeatedly, killing these genin, crazily. As for Jonin and Chunin, Kusachiba did not dare to be too arrogant when they formed a formation. The combination of these people still has a certain power. Kusachiba doesn't have much chakra now, but he doesn't want to fall into a tight siege easily. Ding, kill a genin and get 5 free attribute points. Ding, kill a genin and get 5 free attribute points. Ding, kill a genin and get 5 free attribute points. System prompts kept ringing, and every system prompt heralded the death of a life. Kage can't wait any longer, otherwise when Kusachiba defeats Rock Shinobi, his Cloud Shinobi will be in trouble. Boom! The fire dragon exploded. Tsuchikage happened to take care of the fire dragon, and at this time he flew into the sky with a disgraced face and looked at Kusachiba fiercely. Boy, you have successfully angered me. This time, I will not be a human until I kill you. Kusachiba sneered and withdrew from Rock Shinobi's encirclement. He looked at Tsuchikage with disdain and said lightly, if threats are useful, then what else do ninjas do? Kusachiba considered the number of enemies in his mind, and after realizing that he was no longer a match for Kusanagi village, he felt completely relaxed. Let's see how you can withstand the attacks from both of us. Tsuchikage and Kage looked at each other and slowly walked to the other side of Kusachiba. When they discovered that one person could not kill Kusachiba, they naturally chose to join forces. For them, the so-called fairness and justice do not exist at all. The truly despicable people are actually them. This kid is too arrogant. Let's see how he deals with Master Wang Ying and Master Kage this time. This kid should be honored even after he dies that Tsuchikage-sama and Kage-sama can join forces. The ridiculous grass ninja village, this time I can only accompany this child to the funeral. Lightning-style black thunder. Kage quickly formed seals with his hands and began to use ordinary ninjutsu to attack Kusachiba. A leopard-shaped black lightning quickly rushed towards Kusachiba. Tsuchikage also followed suit and used his best ninjutsu. Earth-style rock golem Gorin. A stone troll charged towards Kusachiba with exaggerated steps. At this time, Kusachiba quickly added points to the fire-style ninjutsu he had learned. Fire-style impatience technique, add. Fire-style fire bullet, plus Zhongli Mountain. Fire-style, Gagaga. At this time, Raikage's leopard-shaped lightning flew towards Kusachiba. Fire-style fireball. Kusachiba smiled easily, and a super-great fireball with a diameter of 5 meters rushed towards the leopard-shaped black lightning, collided with it, and then disappeared with the black lightning. Kusachiba does not stop, and quickly forms seals in an instant. Fire-style Amati technique. The original fairy flower seeds like missiles rushed towards the clumsy stone giant monster, but in the blink of an eye, they had smashed the target like stone giant monster. Humph, die. Raikage suddenly appeared from behind Kusachiba. It turned out that at the moment when he used ordinary ninjutsu to attack Kusachiba, Raikage used lightning style and came behind Kusachiba. At the same time, Tsuchikage also quickly approached Kusachiba. Earth-style Iwaken technique. HMPH, don't you have a long memory? You actually want to fight me in close combat? Kusachiba flew up with a whip leg and instantly shattered Tsuchikage's rock fist. At the same time, he turned around and punched Raikage and they collided together. Kusachiba's taijutsu is so powerful, coupled with the sage body, a light punch can create a terrifyingly powerful punch. Powerful power explodes as Kusachiba's body dances. All the items around Kusachiba shoot out in all directions with a trail of taste at the moment Kusachiba takes action. Whether it was trees or weeds, everything was washed away by this powerful force. I've said before, my strongest skill is actually physical skills. Kusachiba laughed loudly, and his figure disappeared into the air. It turned out that at this time, Kusachiba was constantly using the body flicker technique to fight Raikage and Tsuchikage at the same time. No one could see the shadows of the three of them at all, and the only thing that could be heard was the constant, bang bang bang, collision sound. Point 0. Okay, what a terrifying strength. The surviving Rock Shinobi Village ninjas and Cloud Shinobi Village ninjas opened their eyes wide at this time. They all know how powerful Tsuchikage and Raikage are, but they are not mentally prepared enough to accept how powerful Kusachiba is. What is even more terrifying is that these two super strong men, who are extremely powerful in their hearts, seem to be suppressed by Kusachiba. Fire-style fire bullet. Earth-style earth wall technique. Lightning-style thunder tiger kills. During the battle of taijutsu, these three people used ninjutsu quickly from time to time. So the entire battlefield seemed to be full of collisions and the sound of ninjutsu explosions. What a monster-like existence. In the distance, the Konoha village ninjas who were secretly investigating, Danzo, the leader, looked at Kusachiba's figure with some envy. A root member asked in a low voice, "Now is the opportunity. Should we take action to kill the combined forces of Cloud Shinobi and Rock Shinobi here?" Danzo chuckled and shook his head. "We came here not to kill the coalition forces, but to reap the benefits. Whichever of them has the upper hand, we will be their enemy. Now, since Kusanagi village has the upper hand, then of course we have to help Cloud Shinobi village and Rock Shinobi village. There's something going on over there." At this moment, Danzo's confident eyes suddenly froze. In the sight of everyone, dozens of masters appeared in Grass Ninja Village and began to encircle and suppress the remaining ninjas in Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village. These masters, led by Kage level strength Kusataki and 4 elite Jonin, were like tigers descending from the mountain, killing these coalition ninjas until they collapsed. Where did this master come from? Since when did the Grass Ninja Village have so many elite ninjas? Danzo looked suspicious. Danzo does not want to see Kusachiba defeat Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village. In this case, the reputation of Kusanagi Village will definitely rise to the peak. In the heart of Konoha Village, in this land, there is one village that stands at the top, and that is Konoha Village. On this point, whether it is Danzo or third generation, their understanding is the same. As a result, now, this group of masters in Sao Ninja Village is hiding. All along, Danzo thought that he could control the intelligence surrounding Konoha very well. Now these masters suddenly appeared and slapped him hard, making his old face feel burning pain. Raikage and Tsuchikage happened to see their men being chased by the Grass Ninja Village and became anxious. "Retreat." Kusachiba smiled coldly. "You can come if you want and leave if you want. Where is our school's Grass Ninja Village?" Before he finished speaking, Kusachiba completely ignored the loss and became even faster. At this moment, Kusachiba suddenly felt a powerful aura coming to the battlefield. This was the chakra aura unique to Kage level experts. Another Kage-level strongman. Kusa Chiba slowly descended. He had to stop and let Tsuchikage and Raikage withdraw from the battlefield. He narrowed his eyes slightly and looked at the east of the battlefield. There, Danzo was slowly walking over with the ninjas from Konoha village. Danzo is honored to see Chiba-kun fight with the famous Raikage and Tsuchikage. Danzo smiled conspiratorially. Kusa Chiba looked at Danzo with disdain and ignored Danzo's hypocritical smile. This old man was a conspirator. Kusa Chiba felt disgusted just looking at him. Tell me, what do you want to do when you show up here? Don't tell me, you are here to see the scenery. Kusa Chiba sneered. Danzo smiled gloomily and looked at the panting Onoki Raikage. Hehehehe, naturally I came here to save the Kusanagi village. Chiba-kun, you have to know that if you kill Onoki and Raikage, then what we are about to face is probably the siege of two-tailed beasts and two powerful countries. At that time, the grass ninja village will be destroyed. Quote. Onoki said angrily with an ugly face, kill me. Even if this kid practices for another 100 years, he won't even think about killing me. Raikage also snorted coldly and said calmly, don't say that he is facing two of us joining forces, even if he only faces one person, he can't even think of killing us. This time, they did not use all their strength. I also have my own considerations. Danzo raised his eyelids and glanced at the two Kage-level experts, but said nothing. Kusa Chiba looked at Danzo. At this time, the root ninja behind Danzo was ready to move, and seemed to want to take advantage of this opportunity to destroy the grass ninja village. If it weren't for the fear of being stabbed in the back by Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village, I'm afraid these people would be unable to hold back and take action now, right? Yi sneered in his heart. With the addition of Konoha Village, the situation where Kusanagi Village had the upper hand before has suddenly become a situation where the three parties are restrained by each other. Under such a situation, anyone who wants to take action may face attacks from two sides. Of course, the combined forces of Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village, whose strength has been greatly damaged, are now the least qualified to take action and have no such idea. But because of their existence, whether it is Grass Ninja Village or Konoha Village, they can only be wary of each other and dare not start the war lightly. We, the people of Kusanagi Village, are not afraid of death. If you have the guts, come and do it. Kusataki sneered and returned to Kusa Chiba's side, saying in a tone of voice. The fun battle just now made Kusataki somewhat familiar with this set of ninja tools. He felt that with his assistance, the village chief was enough to withstand the wrath of Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village. That's right, we're not afraid. The invaders must pay a sufficient price. Many ninjas from the Grass Ninja Village also started shouting at this time. Danzo's eyes shrank. Looking at the passionate ninjas of Kusanagi Village, he felt impatient in his heart. Sooner or later, these garbage, I will kill them all one day. Kusa Chiba, as a qualified leader, calmness is a necessary quality. I hope you will not follow these garbage-like stupidities. Danzo said calmly looking at these excited Kusanagi Village ninjas. Old man, who do you think is trash? Trash. If you have the guts, let's fight. Let's compare hammers here. A group of ninjas from the Grass Ninja Village sneered. Kusa Chiba laughed. Danzo, I, Kusa Chiba, can do everything, but I won't be a coward. Today, if Cloud Shinobi Village and Rock Shinobi Village don't leave me enough money, don't even think about leaving. If Konoha Village, if you want to intervene, just come over. Kusa Chiba actually wants to back down because the situation is unclear, and wait until the Grass Ninja Village is developed before he can dominate the ninja world. With the help of the system, this goal is actually very easy to achieve. But I don't know why, after seeing Danzo's disgust, Kusa Chiba wanted to kill him. If I had the help of the system, I would still learn from Danzo, learn from these politicians in Hokage, and take the overall situation into consideration in everything. What is the difference between me and these garbage politicians? Kusa Chiba felt that his blood was flying. He opened his properties panel without hesitation. First, add all the attribute points of your men to their physical skills to help them recover from their injuries. All plus physical skills. Soon, all the grass ninjas on the battlefield felt a mysterious force acting on their bodies. Injuries are recovering and strength is improving. Immediately overjoyed. Miracle. Another miracle. Then Kusa Chiba started to add points to himself. In the previous battles, Kusachiba once again gained a large amount of attribute points, but he was not worried about insufficient attribute points. Teishu, 599 Kage level, 600 to 800. Note, I wrote it wrong before, Kage level is 600 to 800, Chaoying is not. Ninjutsu, 599 points, Kage level, 600 to 800. Illusion, 599 points, Kage level, 600 to 800. Attributes, Wind 10, Thunder 0, Water 0, Fire 599, Earth 0, Yang 0, Yin 0. Eye Technique, 0 points. Sage Body, 599 points, cannot be upgraded temporarily. Blood Succession Limit, 0 points. Special Skills, Wind Style Tornado Fist 99, Fire Style Giant Fire Dragon Technique 599. This time, Kusachiba didn't add anything else, but added all attribute points to ninjutsu and genjutsu. In an instant, Kusachiba's exhausted chakra once again returned to its prime. My physical skills are so powerful. If I use the immortal body with the 8 inner gates, I wonder what kind of power it will be. Can I be immune to Sharingan's attack? When I have a chance, I can go to Konoha village to snatch the 8 inner gates. Give it a try. With a thought in my mind, I thought of the best way to improve my strength. Since you want to improve your physical skills, the best one is of course 8 inner gates. It just so happens that I still have the body of an immortal, and my recovery power is terrifyingly powerful, which may be able to offset the damage caused to my body by using the 8 inner gates. Thinking about it this way, 8 inner gates seems to be the most suitable physical technique for me. However, 8 inner gates are in Konoha. But now, when Kusachiba has raised his illusion skills to close to Kage level, Kusachiba feels that he will not be afraid of this hateful old man at all. Just take this opportunity to kill Danzo. Kusachiba clearly remembers that it was this old man who killed the head of Kusanagi village. Danzo was originally very confident, but when he saw a powerful aura suddenly burst out from Kusachiba's body, the scars on Kusachiba's body also disappeared without a trace at this moment. Danzo looked around and found that the other ninjas in the grass ninja village were also in the same aura. He suddenly felt in his heart, what's going on? Could faith have such a big effect? Let them return to their peak all of a sudden. Tsuchikage and Reikage looked at each other awkwardly. Before, they thought Konoha village was here to pick up a bargain, but now it seems that they have misunderstood him. The majesty of a great country cannot be violated. Danzo, this kid is too arrogant, we must teach him a lesson. Tsuchikage began to sow discord, hoping that Konoha village and Kusachiba would start fighting soon. Danzo, come here and die. Kusachiba pointed at Danzo. Danzo was so angry that his face turned blue. Village chief, this set of ninja tools. Kusatake took off his armor with some concern at this time. Kusatake has already experienced the power of this set of ninja tools. Even though Kusachiba is already very powerful, Kusatake believes that this set of ninja tools can also be of great help to Kusachiba. Kusachiba waved his hand gently, there is no need to deal with this old man. Just in time, you should also be careful about Onoki and Reikage. Kusachiba smiled casually. Onoki and I laughed. Danzo, you look despised. Danzo, show your strength and show him that you are not a waste. So discord. When Danzo heard this, he was furious and said, very good. I want to see why you are so arrogant. Summoning Technique Dream Taper. Danzo directly summoned his own summoning beast, Dream Taper. Wind Style Vacuum Jade. Danzo took a big breath and then fired the vacuum Odama, shooting towards Kusachiba like an air rocket launcher. At the same time, the Dream Taper also enlarged its mouth and used Wind Style to swallow Kusachiba vigorously into its mouth. Ridiculous ninjutsu. Is this your power? If this is the case, I will be very disappointed. Kusachiba opened the phantom-like seals on his hands. Ninjutsu, Giant Fire Dragon Jutsu. As if in an instant, a terrifying chakra wave erupted in front of Kusachiba, and the 100-meter-long Isaurus appeared again. Seeing Kusachiba using this ninjutsu again, Reikage and Tsuchikage couldn't help but shrink in their eyes. Is this kid a yokai? How could he have so much chakra to perform such super S-level ninjutsu? They looked at each other, and at this time they finally couldn't hold back and wanted to kill the grass ninja village at all costs. Kusachiba has the potential to fight like this. They don't dare to let this enemy live so freely. Even if Kusachiba cannot be killed, Kusachiba's foundation must be destroyed. But at this moment, Suna Shukaku crossed the city wall with heavy steps and stood in front of everyone. San Shukaku looked sleepy, but this look made everyone feel chilly. It's really Shukaku of sand. Sunagaker, they actually lent strategic weapons like tailed beasts to the grass ninja village. Tsuchikage spat hard. He knew that with the appearance of tailed beasts, they had already it is impossible to attack the grass ninja village. Forget it, let's take a good look at the strength of Konoha village. As long as he can defeat Kusachiba, we can leave safely by then. Kage looked at the many ninjas from Kusanagi village who were on guard against him, and his heart was completely gone. Other ideas. Of course, Kage had a vague feeling in his heart. If Danzo wins, I'm afraid Konoha village will also take the opportunity to peel off a layer of skin from itself, right? However, whether it is Kage or Tsuchikage, they are willing to compensate Konoha village for the defeat, rather than suffer at the hands of Kusachiba, a young boy. In the state of the immortal body, Kusachiba's physical skills exploded with great power, as if he had not experienced two high-intensity battles at all. Even Danzo's vacuum jade was completely unable to hit Shankiantu at this time. Kusachiba seemed to be strolling around. Occasionally tilting his head or turning his body sideways, he simply dodged all of Danzo's vacuum balls, and then disappeared instantly. By the time everyone found him, Kusachiba had already kicked him. Kick the dream taper away. If you want to get a bargain, be prepared to be beaten. Kusachiba didn't even look at the dream taper who returned to the summoning world. He chuckled, looked at Danzo and said lightly. Danzo was a little surprised. Could this kid be a tailed beast? How could he have so much chakra? He just went through 2 battles with Kage-level experts. Being distracted during battle is not a quality a Kage-level expert should have. At the moment when Danzo lost consciousness, Kusachiba appeared in front of Danzo as if teleporting, and hit Danzo with a punch. As if being hit by a cannonball, Danzo was shot hundreds of meters away, dragging a long ravine on the ground before he stopped. Kusachiba appeared in front of Danzo in the blink of an eye. With the help of wood-style cells, Danzo finally regained his mobility, but suddenly found that the blades of grass came to his head again. What do you want to do? Danzo was shocked. Wind-style shuriken. Danzo seal, a sharp shuriken instantly appeared in front of Kusachiba. Kusachiba sneered and smashed the shuriken into pieces with one punch. You win. We at Konoha village will not interfere with this matter this time. Danzo felt uncomfortable in his heart when he saw Kusachiba's sneer. No more interference. What do you Konoha village think you are? Intervene if you want to, and leave if you want to leave. Kusachiba chuckled and knocked Danzo away hundreds of meters with one punch. With this punch, Danzo's entire body was about to burst. However, due to the strong recovery power of wood-style cells, his body quickly returned to its original shape, and at least he was not killed by Kusachiba's punch. You want to kill me? You are enmity with Konoha village. Danzo looked at Kusachiba bitterly and said. Kusachiba shrugged indifferently. Could it be that with Konoha village's repeated betrayal of our allies, we can't take revenge? If you kill me, Kusanagi village will face attacks from Rock Shinobi village, Cloud Shinobi village and Konoha village. Kusachiba, so what if you are powerful? You can't resist the Three Kingdoms alliance. Danzo sneered and continued to threaten Kusachiba. Kusachiba clapped his hands in boredom. He decided not to play cat and mouse anymore. He squinted at Danzo and said, "Threat me. If threats are useful, do you know how many times your Konoha village has been destroyed? Do you know, from the moment you killed the village chief, you were destined to die. I said that I would avenge the village chief, so I would kill you with my own hands. Now, you are the first." Danzo was stunned. He had no idea that Kusachiba's hatred was actually because of that bad old man. Quote. I once warned you, return the village chief, and leave the grass ninja village. Otherwise, I will fall out with you. Kusachiba smiled ferociously, looked at the absent-minded Danzo and said lightly, "It's a pity, you don't seem to have me. Take the threat to heart." Danzo's heart was full of regrets, regretting not wiping out the Kusanagi village earlier and causing such trouble. Then now, die. Kusachiba held the shuriken in his hand and cut Danzo's head instantly. Danzo, die. When Kusachiba returned to the grass ninja village with Danzo's body, he found that Tsuchikage and Raikage were no longer there. The Cloud Shinobi and Rock Shinobi also retreated completely. The entire grass ninja village suddenly returned to silence. Kusachiba originally wanted to lead a team to hunt down, but suddenly he heard a voice coming from the system. Ding! Kill a Kage level strongman and get 1 Kage level attribute point. Kage level attribute points. You can cross the barrier after the attribute points are raised to the Jonin limit. Looking at this system prompt, Kusachiba finally found the reason why his attributes could not reach Kage level. So you have to kill Kage level experts to break through to Kage level. Haha, I can finally break through. In this war, Kusachiba gained a large number of attribute points. Add more, add more, add more. He raised his physical skills, ninjutsu, and illusion skills to the top of Jonin, and also gained some Kage level attribute points. So, should this Kage level attribute point be added to ninjutsu or taijutsu? Kusachiba felt a little hesitant. Now his most powerful trump card is nothing more than the giant fire dragon technique and physical technique. So it seems that whether it is improving ninjutsu or physical skills, it is possible. Let's upgrade my taijutsu to Kage level. Kusachiba thought for a while and felt that the ninjutsu he currently masters is still too few. In this case, improving ninjutsu will not actually increase the strength much. But physical skills are different. Ah, your physical skills have been upgraded to Kage level. You can continue to add more points. Listening to the crisp system prompts, Chiba felt that his body suddenly became countless times stronger. Although it is only a few attribute points, the significance of this attribute point is really huge. It's a pity that I don't have any extra attribute points now. Otherwise, if I upgrade my physical skills to the peak of Kage level, I'm afraid there won't be many people in this world who can defeat me head-on. Kusachiba smacked his lips, somewhat greedy thought. It's time to sort out the affairs of the village. Finally reaching the Kage level, Kusachiba summoned Kusotaki in front of him feeling refreshed. How is the current situation of the village's supplies and construction? Kusachiba asked calmly, squinting his eyes. Kusotaki said without hesitation, there are almost no supplies left. Our village is small, and after 2 wars, the previous storage has been completely exhausted. But as long as the compensation from Cloud Shinobi village is sent, this problem will not exist. Quote, as for the construction situation, except for the buildings owned by big countries such as the Ninja School and Ninja Hospital, we also own the rest of the buildings. Although they were seriously damaged in this battle, they will be able to recover quickly. After these 2 battles, the strength of the ninjas in the village has improved horribly. I myself have been promoted to Jonin, and the rest have 4 elite Jonin and more than 20 Jonin. On the contrary, the current number of Chunin and Genin is extremely high. Low. BDED. We can prepare a ninja school, but forget about the ninja hospital. Also, after this battle, Grass Ninja Village will probably be as famous as the 5 major countries. You have to keep it in check and recruit more wandering ninjas. Kusachiba nodded with satisfaction, very satisfied with the condition of the village. After experiencing 2 such horrific wars, Kusachiba expected that the low-level ninjas of Kusanagi village suffered heavy casualties. But being able to survive so many elite ninjas was beyond Kusachiba's expectations. Next, except for the Anbu and the security forces who stayed in the village, all ninjas will still be sent out to participate in battles around the world. If our grass ninja village wants to be strong, we can only feed it with war. Kusachiba clapped his hands and said slowly. Shu stood up. Kusotaki looked at Kusachiba with admiration and agreed with Kusachiba's order. Although he didn't know why the grass ninja village became stronger after experiencing these 2 wars. But this could not change his image of Kusachiba as powerful as a god. Not only in the heart of Kusotaki, but also the entire Kusanagi, whether they are ordinary people or ninjas, they will regard them as godlike existences. Asshole. He is a small grass ninja village, and he dares to kill the top management of our Konoha village. He is going to start a war with us. Even though 3rd generation was very cunning, at this time, he couldn't help but slap the table in front of him. Smashed. The other Kage level, elite Jonin, and Jonin from Konoha village stood aside with angry expressions on their faces. When they heard the news of Danzo's death, the anger in their hearts was no less than that of 3rd generation. For Konoha village, this is all a provocation. A provocation that cannot be tolerated and needs to be washed away with blood. If you want to wash away this shame, you can only use blood and life. I am willing to defend the dignity of Konoha village with my own life. Golden Flash Namikaze Minato's mood was extremely complicated, but at this time he was also the first to stand up. At the beginning, we had a great time cooperating with him. At that time, I was still in awe. This boy's strength was terrifying. But now it seems that I still underestimated the extent of this boy's progress. Namikaze Minato clenched his fists hard. The fighting spirit in his heart was high. You need to think carefully about starting a war. In today's Kusanagi village, Kusachiba himself has the strength of a Kage-level strongman, and his subordinate Kusatake also has the strength of a Kage-level strongman because of a set of ninja tools. In addition, they borrowed Sand Shukaku from Sunagaku. Their strength cannot be underestimated, and we cannot easily go to war with them. Facing his subordinate's request to fight, third generation forced himself to hold back the anger in his heart and became extra calm. He glanced at the crowd and analyzed. Then we just took this breath. The rest of the people also looked unhappy at this time. Third generation took a deep breath and said, today's Kusanobi village has completely offended Rock Shinobi village and Cloud Shinobi village. Why should we in Konoha village rush to compete head-on with Kusanobi village? Sit back and watch the fight, and then just sit back and accept it. Fishing for profit is what we should be doing now. Faced with the method proposed by the third generation project, although I was unwilling to accept it, I could only accept it. Because they know that this seems to be the most beneficial way for Konoha village. But now, they still have a vague feeling of uneasiness in their hearts. Remember the last time we met, this guy's strength was just that of a small jonin. How long have we not seen each other? He actually already has the strength of a Kage-level strongman. And he is also the top one among Kage-level. Kind of. A young and mature face of about 10 years old appeared in Kakashi's mind. Except for Konoha village, Rock Shinobi village and Cloud Shinobi village were all in turmoil at this time. Third generation was as expected. For Tsuchikage and Raikage, this time they encountered a huge humiliation. Being bullied by a teenage boy and having to run away in despair completely ruined their reputation over the years. Unfortunately, even though they were angry, they had to give the previous order again. If you encounter Kusachiba during the mission, you can give up the mission and it will not be considered a shame. If you encounter Kusachiba during the mission, you can abandon the mission and it will not be considered a shame. When Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village jointly issued this order, the entire ninja world was completely in an uproar. At this moment, people from other countries truly knew what kind of horrific things happened during the war in the Grass Ninja Village. However, some people expressed disdain. Mizukage-sama, we killed the envoy of Kusanagi Village a few days ago, will this? A ninja looked at Yagura carefully at this time and said, HMPH, just kill this guy. Chiba was just a kid. How could he be so powerful according to the rumors? We Ninmurakane are afraid of him. Fourth Mizukage looked disgusted at this time. Although Onoki and Raikage are not as strong as me, they are still very powerful beings. They cannot be defeated by this child. Don't worry. In fact, Yagura is now controlled by Uchiha Madara. All he cares about is the chaos of Kurigakure and nothing else. Just when the outside world was talking about Kusachiba and the strength of the Kusunin village, all the ninjas of the Kusunin village gathered at the door. Village chief, be careful along the way. Kusatake led many ninjas from Kusunoin village to say goodbye to Kusachiba. Kusachiba put his hands behind his hands and said calmly, I just went to teach Kurigakure a lesson, don't worry. Kusatake couldn't help but asked cautiously, Village chief, do you really want to do this? Although Kurigakure killed our messenger from Kusanobi village, now we are enemies of Konoha village, Iwagakure and Cloud Shinobi village. To offend another big country. The other ninjas also looked worried. They were worried that something would happen to Kusachiba. They were worried that after Kusachiba's accident, the Kusanagi village, which had finally prospered, would be wiped out by the enemy. For Kusakunin village, the village chief Kusachiba is really important. Kusachiba smiled calmly. Killing our envoy is declaring war on us. How can we swallow such humiliation safely? To become a big country, you must first have the dignity of a big country. If you want to wear the crown, you must bear its weight. Kusatake, you have to remember that this is the most basic requirement of a big country. But, what if you never come back? Kusatake couldn't hold back the worry in his heart after all. Never come back, just because of the Kiri ninja group. Kusachiba raised his head and laughed. By the time everyone heard his laughter, he had already left the grass ninja village. 2 days later, Kusachiba arrived in the land of water. What catches the eye is the huge city gate on the shore of the Kingdom of Water. Who is it? Kurigakure has been sealed off from the outside world. Everyone is strictly prohibited from entering. A mist ninja stepped forward directly and said coldly. Kusachiba stepped on the water and slowly approached the door, with a touch of indifference in his eyes. Stop now, otherwise I will kill you. The mist ninja looked at Kusachiba nervously. Obviously, he also knew that this person who could automatically drive the boat here was not an ordinary person. Kill me. Kusachiba laughed and disappeared instantly. By the time the fog ninja saw Kusachiba, he had already fallen to the ground. The last thing he saw was Kusachiba's retreating figure. After forcibly crossing the water country checkpoint, Chiba still walked so relaxedly and comfortably. Kurigakure is on an independent archipelago, and the only way to enter it is by boat. But for experts like Kusachiba, it is obviously more convenient to walk on the waves from the sea. Looking at the village shrouded in thick fog, Kusachiba arrived at the entrance of the village without stopping. The ninja at the door had already received news that a master who looked like a teenage child had invaded the Kingdom of Water and was heading towards Kurigakure. The sunset glow turned the entire sea red, and Kusachiba stepped on the seawater at this time, reflecting the sunset glow, and arrived at the entrance of Uenian village. At this moment, a large group of mist ninja quickly came to the door, formed a formation, and looked at Kusachiba intently. At the same time, a large group of ninjas also came from the distant sea. Form a surrounding circle. Obviously, they had already set up a trap and were just waiting for the blades of grass to break through. HMPH, you want to keep me with such a simple trap? Kusachiba sneered in his heart. My own strength and numbers no longer have any effect on me. A dense crowd of ninjas surrounded Kusachiba, and then a young man slowly walked out of a path made by the crowd. This young man has green hair and purple eyes. He has a scar that looks like a suture mark under his left eye. He holds a stick-like weapon with a hook on the front and decorated with green flowers. 0. If you just look at his face, this person seems to be about the same age as Kusachiba. But Kusachiba knows that he looks a few years older than his actual age just because of his physical training. The young man in front of him looks younger because of his perfect integration with three tails. You are Kusachiba from Kusanagi village, right? Tell me, what are you doing in Kurigakure? Why do you want to kill our ninjas? Yagura looked at Kusachiba calmly. Kusachiba sneered. Mizukage-sama has a really good memory. Have you forgotten about killing the envoy of our Kusanagi village? Such a shame. Kusachiba came here today to ask for advice. You Kusanagi village has enemies on all sides, but you didn't expect that you would dare to come to my Kurigakure to run wild. Fourth Mizukage looked at Kusachiba with a sneer, feeling slightly angry in his heart. He had just analyzed to his men before that Kusachiba would not have the guts to cause trouble. Just a few days ago, Kusachiba came to the door in person to cause trouble. This, Kage Wago slapped him in the face in front of his subordinates. Yagura may not care about Kurigakure's loss, but he has to care about his own face. He was only controlled by Uchiha Madara using illusions, but he did not lose many of his instincts. Mizukage-sama, what are you doing talking nonsense with this guy here? He's just a young boy. He really thought he was invincible after being lucky enough to escape the encirclement and suppression of Rock Shinobi Village and Cloud Shinobi Village. How dare he come to Kurigakure to seek death? In my opinion, it's better to catch him first. At this time, a man with two braids blinking on his chin stood up with a sneer. The man held a large square knife in his hand, which was covered with explosive symbols. Kusachiba squinted at the man. You are Muri Jinpachi, one of the 7 Kiri ninja swordsmen, right? Ha ha ha, it's me. How about it? When you see me, do you feel scared? You even want to pee your pants? Muri Jinpachi laughed wildly. Your mouth is disgusting. Kusachiba's figure flashed, and he rushed towards Wu Xingba. Fourth Mizukage originally wanted to send one of his men to test Kusachiba's strength, but now that he saw Kusachiba taking the initiative, his heart moved and he backed away. Muri Jinpachi was not afraid. He held the big sword in his hand and slashed at Kusachiba, who appeared in front of him. He said with a sinister smile on his face, "Boy, you are sending yourself to death." His broadsword is the famous explosive sword, Flying Waterfall. It has the ability to explode. As long as it hits the enemy, it can cause powerful explosion damage to the enemy. Too slow. Kusachiba's voice appeared behind Wuli Jinpachi. In his hand, a kunai was dripping with blood. PFF. Muri Jinpachi fell to the sea with deep reluctance. In the blink of an eye, Kusachiba had already killed Muri Jinpachi. Kusachiba straightened up, waved the kunai in his hand, and shook his head slightly. Is this the ridiculous strength of Kurigakure's strongest combat power, the 7 ninja swordsmen? Kurigakure, with this strength, killed the messenger from Kusakunin village. Seeing Kusachiba's terrifying teleportation speed just now, Fourth Mizukage couldn't help but twitch his eyelids. This is Kage-level taijutsu. Fourth Mizukage hoped that he was just dazzled, but Kusachiba's results made him deeply realize that Kage-level experts are not that strong in taijutsu. With the addition of the Sage Body, Kusachiba's current physical skills have just been upgraded to Kage level, but they are much more powerful than the average Kage level. Whether in terms of recovery power or combat effectiveness, he has advantages that other physical arts practitioners cannot match. After saying this, Kusachiba slowly raised his head, looked at the frowning Fourth Mizukage and chuckled. If that's all, then that's enough. Fourth Mizukage stretched his eyebrows at this time. He took a deep breath, then looked at Kusachiba and said, "Now, we have paid the life of a Jonin, so the humiliation of killing the messenger of Kusanagi village, is it worth it? Already washed and cleaned." Fourth Mizukage didn't want to do this, but when he recalled Kusachiba's terrifying taijutsu and replaced himself with Muri Jinpachi, he found that he could not defeat Kusachiba. Although he did not feel that he would not be defeated by Kusachiba because of 3 tails, he did not dare to try such a thing. As the leader of a village, what he needs to do is not to fight mindlessly, but to reduce unnecessary sacrifices after weighing the pros and cons. In this case, he could only choose to compromise. Kurigakure is isolated from the world and does not want to be involved in other countries' wars. So, can we stop here? Fourth Mizukage raised his head and looked straight at Kusachiba and said. When he said this, Fourth Mizukage felt the disbelief in the eyes of many mist ninjas. But now, he no longer hopes for more sacrifices, so naturally, he will not follow Kusachiba to death. Kusachiba is alone and fearless, but he cannot do this. At this time, in Kurigakure, a teenage man was looking at the blades of grass with admiration. The moment Fourth Mizukage lowered his head, his eyes looked at Kusachiba with admiration. For him, this person seemed to be the guiding light in his life. It turns out that you can be so unscrupulous as a human being. As long as you have absolute strength. This man slowly clenched his fists. This person has short black hair, his forehead protector is worn to the left, and his face is wrapped in a bandage. He has a grayish complexion and is relatively tall. This person was surprisingly Zabuza Momochi, who shocked the ninja world by killing the entire class during the ninja exam. Kusachiba was stunned for a moment. He did not expect that this Fourth Mizukage would be so tolerant. This is totally out of character, right? Kusachiba felt like there was no force on the cotton with his fist. He looked at the other fog ninjas and found that they were still looking at the Fourth Mizukage with the same disbelief. But fourth generation is currently looking at Kusachiba so calmly and has no intention of fighting with Kusachiba at all. Do you want to put things to rest? It's very simple, give this person to me. Kusachiba happened to see Zabuza Momochi, his heart moved, and he said calmly. Fourth generation glanced back and found that it was Momochi Zabuza, a troublesome guy. Although he was a little reluctant to part with his powerful talent, he still nodded and said, "No problem." Kusachiba chuckled, shook his head and said, "I'm not finished yet. You have to take out the beheading sword, ask him to take it with him, and then follow me." Impossible. The decapitating sword is my signature, Kurigakure. How could it be given to Kusanagi village? Fourth Mizukage finally couldn't help being furious. He looked at Kusachiba with a sneer and said, "Young man, do you really think that? Are we Kurigakure afraid of you?" Hateful. Too arrogant. The other Kurigakure masters also shouted indignantly. So what if a little brat is a bit more powerful? He came to Kurigakure alone and actually made Kurigakure bow his head. If word spread, it would be a huge blow to Kurigakure's reputation. All the mist ninjas were angry. Mizukage-sama, kill him. It should have been like this a long time ago. Kusa-chiba chuckled, but was not afraid at all. Having just killed a Jonin, coupled with the previous killing of a genin in the land of water, as well as those Jonin who went out to participate in the war, Kusa-chiba now has another 100 attribute points saved. Even if he fights with these people, Chiba will not worry about his chakra being exhausted. As long as it is exhausted, Kusa-chiba can use the tactics of adding points to restore his chakra. At that time, Kusa-chiba can fight vigorously again. On the contrary, it is the ninjas of Mist Shinobi Village. They cannot have such a pervert ability. Kusa-chiba has tapped the system's capabilities to ultimate. Under such circumstances, Kusa-chiba doesn't think there is anything scary about Kurigakure. Together, the 7 ninja swordsmen can destroy a small country. With the blessing of the system, Kusa-chiba does not feel that his strength is lower than that of the 7 ninja swordsmen. Dvertisement. Kill. Water style water severing wave. Water style water dragon technique. Mist shinobi technique. Water style water prison technique. Countless ninjutsu exploded in an instant, a thin layer of mist rose quietly, and countless water dragons, water bombs and water prisons flooded the place where Kusa-chiba was standing. However, all these ninjutsu were in vain. Because at the moment they formed the seal, Kusa-chiba had already soared into the sky. Although fighting on the sea is advantageous for Kurigakure, Kusa-chiba is not afraid because, your speed is too slow. It is impossible to hit me with this seal speed. Kusa-chiba fell from the sky and killed a Chunin with a whistling shuriken. Then when many mist ninjas reacted, Kusa-chiba disappeared in front of everyone again. This is not an invisibility technique, but the result of the terrifying movement speed brought about by Kusa-chiba's powerful physical skills. As for the mist shinobi technique, when Kusa-chiba flew into the air, he used the ninjutsu, giant fire dragon jutsu. Without hesitation, amidst the roar of the fire dragon, the mist shinobi technique was defeated. Kurigakure's Jonin was shocked and angry at being killed in front of him. Let me do it. Fourth Mizukage slowly opened his eyes, water-style Isotaki waterfall. He instantly bursts out a 3 tails chakra, extending out a powerful wave with himself as the center. Everyone backed away crazily. They know that they are no longer qualified to intervene in this kind of battle. Even those Jonin can only wait until the aftermath of the battle between Kusa-chiba and Mizukage becomes smaller before they dare to take action. The powerful waves flooded a large area of the sea. Even if Kusa-chiba could fly in the sky temporarily, he would have to land on the ground. It seemed impossible for him to withstand the 4th Mizukage's attack. Is this the power of the tailed beast? Kusa-chiba squinted his eyes. He knew that the power of this ninjutsu should not be attempted lightly. If you don't try, then. Kusa-chiba stepped in the air repeatedly, and with the help of air resistance, he rushed directly towards the 4th Mizukage like a cannonball. Then, just don't touch this big waterfall. Kusa-chiba had a slight smile on his lips. With Kage-level taijutsu, it is completely wishful thinking to use ninjutsu like Great Falls to defeat him. Kusa-chiba seemed to teleport and smashed towards the 4th Mizukage with a terrifying aura. Yagura smiled coldly. Do you want to fight with taijutsu? Don't you know that I am the Jinchuriki who has the perfect fusion with the tailed beasts? At this moment, the bright red-tailed beast coat wrapped Yagura's whole body, and his palm collided with Kusa-chiba with a special chakra. Boom! There was a loud noise. Relying on his half-tailed beast state, a hard fight between Yagura and Kusa-chiba caused him to be instantly knocked into the bottom of the sea. So awesome. All the Kurigakure ninjas opened their mouths in disbelief. Previously, Kusa-chiba was able to kill 7 ninja swordsmen with one move. It can be regarded as a Kage-level powerhouse crushing Jonin. But now Kusa-chiba actually knocked Mizukage away with one move. This terrifying strength made everyone swallow their saliva involuntarily. Mizukage flew out of the bottom of the sea with a proud smile at this time. Although he was beaten by Kusa-chiba and vomited blood, and although his whole body was shaking, he still had an arrogant smile. Ha ha ha. This is me, Coral Palm. As long as you are hit by my palm, coral will grow in this part of your body. You will suffer extremely huge damage. Kusachiba, you are still too young. Kusachiba chuckled and slowly stretched out his jade-white palm. Where could there be traces of coral growing out of this palm? How is this possible? Yagura looked in disbelief, as if he had seen a ghost. The fire dragons of the giant god fire dragon technique were still surrounding Kusachiba. He looked at Yagura with a sneer. Nothing is impossible. Although I hit you just now, I did not make contact with you. It was my palm wind that knocked you away. Palm wind. After hearing Kusachiba's explanation, everyone couldn't help but take a breath. Does it have such terrifying power just by relying on the palm wind? So what a terrifying result would it be if it was really hit by him? All the Kurigakure ninjas couldn't help but shrink their necks. Is the coral palm ineffective? Mizukage coughed hard, spit out a mouthful of blood, and held the scepter in his hand. You are so young, but you have such terrifying physical skills. Your future achievements are limitless. However, that's it, because from today on, there will be no more Kusachiba in the world. Tsuchikage and Reikage also said this before, even the dead Danzo said it. Kusachiba mocked mercilessly. Tailed Beast Bomb. At this moment, Mizukage recovered his body while talking to Kusachiba, and completely transformed into a tailed beast without hesitation, completely transforming into 3 tails. A burst of mist instantly enveloped Kusachiba, and immediately after, a high-speed rotating black energy bomb was spit out by him in a straight line. The mist had a confusing effect, and Kusachiba couldn't help but be stunned for a moment. At this moment, a tailed beast bomb came to Kusachiba with a devastating momentum. Tailed beast bomb. Kusachiba knew the terrifying power of tailed beast bomb, but at this time, he was not worried. The fire dragon that had been surrounding Kusachiba rushed out at this moment, opened its mouth, and swallowed the tailed beast bomb. HMPH, the tailed beast bomb is so powerful that it can destroy a mountain. How can it be resisted by this fire dragon? The 4th Mizukage, who had completely transformed into a tailed beast, sneered at this moment. The other mist ninjas also had expressions of relief on their faces. This arrogant guy actually dared to go head-to-head with the tailed beast bomb, and he died. This is equivalent to the power caused by the explosion of 10,000 explosive talismans. He just used his fire dragon to block it. How could he possibly block it? Dead. Dead. So what if my physical skills are strong? I'm absolutely dead. These fog ninjas laughed proudly at this time. However, at the next moment, they couldn't laugh anymore. In their opinion, the fire dragon that would be destroyed in an instant was not destroyed by the tailed beast bomb as easily as they expected. Instead, the fire dragon seemed to swallow the tailed beast bomb. But the next moment, the fire dragon rushed directly into the sky with a roar, and then exploded instantly. This explosion also dispersed the fog that Mizukage originally cast. It can actually withstand the tailed beast bomb attack. Could this fire dragon be an S-level ninjutsu? Yagura's expression finally changed. Kusachiba can perform S-level ninjutsu at will, and then just puts it aside to protect himself. This lack of care for chakra just shows Kusachiba's confidence. In that case, Mizukage did not hesitate, and the tailed beast chakra on his body began to bubble for a while. At this time, the 3 huge tails behind him. The bang hit the water. His size became extremely huge, and in the blink of an eye he became a huge grey turtle-like monster. 4th Mizukage-sama has summoned the tailed beast's true form. The mist ninja, who was already filled with fear, suddenly became more courageous. The many Jonin were also looking at Kusachiba eagerly, obviously preparing to take the opportunity to cooperate and attack Kusachiba. Kusachiba snorted coldly and used the ninjutsu, giant god fire dragon jutsu, again. After spending chakra to summon a fire dragon without hesitation, Kusachiba controlled the fire dragon to protect himself, and then looked at the complete 3 tails with a sneer. Seeing the fire dragon summoned by Kusachiba, 3 tails was obviously stunned. 3 tails opened its mouth wide and began to condense chakra crazily, and a huge black chakra ball took shape again. Complete tailed beast bomb. All the fog ninjas began to retreat crazily, but they knew that the terrifying power of this tailed beast bomb was much more powerful than the tailed beast bomb they had used before. Kusachiba shrugged his shoulders, twisted his neck, and looked eager to try. just in time, I also want to try the limits of my physical skills. Roar! Three Tails roared, and the tailed beast bomb was spat out by him. Kusachiba did not use the fire dragon to resist this time. Instead, he moved all the chakra in his fists, opened the immortal body to the limit, and went towards the tailed beast bomb. Does he want to seek death? At this moment, such an idea came to the minds of all the mist ninjas. But because they had been beaten and swollen before, they didn't dare to say it out loud, they just thought about it in their hearts. Even if they were slapped in the face by Kusachiba several times, they still didn't think that Chiba could withstand these 10 attacks. This is a complete tailed beast bomb. No one in this world can resist it. This is not the opinion of Mist Ninja himself, but the thoughts in the hearts of all ninjas. But this ninja obviously does not include Kusachiba. Kusachiba's fist collided with the tailed beast bomb, and a huge shock wave instantly erupted across the entire sea, and a dazzling white light covered everyone's eyes. Boom! Group. Everyone only saw that Kusachiba's figure was hit by this shock wave and instantly fell back thousands of meters. However, Kusachiba's vigorous appearance did not look like he was injured at all, which made everyone couldn't help but marvel. Even if they wanted to take the opportunity to attack Kusachiba, the moment they saw the fire dragon surrounding Kusachiba, they extinguished their thoughts. What a terrifying power! Kusachiba shook his arm and sighed in his heart. If I hadn't added 100 attribute points to the physical skills just now, I might have been injured, right? The power of tailed beast bomb is indeed terrifying. Maybe I can wait until my physical skills reach the peak of Kage level, or reach the level of Super Shadow, before I can beat tailed beast bomb hard. Kusachiba slowly raised his head and looked at Three Tails with a smile. Then, it's your turn now. Kusachiba's figure flashed repeatedly, but within a moment he appeared in front of Three Tails. The fire dragon, with its scorching heat all the way, followed Kusachiba majestically, guarding Kusachiba so that all the mist ninjas did not dare to act rashly. They have seen that this fire dragon can even swallow such a terrifying attack as the tailed beast bomb. Then the attacks of their little tricks can naturally be easily resisted by the other party. Just when many mist ninjas were distracted, Kusachiba's fists had already rained down on Three Tails. Ouch! Three Tails had a powerful chakra. At this moment, they could only withstand Kusachiba's attack. Even the fire dragon surrounding Kusachiba can bite and attack Three Tails. What a terrifying taijutsu is this! All the mist ninjas couldn't help but feel the despair in their hearts. In the face of such terrifying speed, all their ninjutsu became completely useless. Even the tailed beast doesn't have the power to fight back, so how can we resist it? They watched in despair as the tailed beast was beaten by Kusachiba and cursed, without any thoughts in their hearts. Bump! With Kusachiba's last punch, the tailed beast's damage reached the limit, and it hit directly in the body of 4th Mizukage and fell into a deep sleep. Kusachiba didn't stop and hit Yaikura's body. This was a punch that even the tailed beasts could not withstand. Yagura was instantly hit by the punch and exploded into pieces. He still had a lot to say, and he wanted to admit defeat, but at this time, he was already dead. In a hidden place, the old Uchiha Madara's body trembled. Three Tails actually escaped my control. It seems that they were killed. Black Zetsu, go to Shangshang. On the side of Mist Ninja Village, Kusachiba waved his fist, shrugged his shoulders and said, "Sorry, I didn't hold my fist back for a while." You didn't hold back your fists. You did it on purpose, right? This thought came to everyone's mind. But unfortunately, in the face of Kusachiba's insincere apology, no Kirin ninja dared to stand up and question Kusachiba. They shrank their necks, not daring to provoke this murderous god at all. Only Mochi Zabuza stood up with excitement on his face. "I want to go with you." Momochi Zabuza has been impressed by Kusachiba's powerful strength. "Momochi Zabuza, you traitor," came a voice with anger and grievance. With just one glance, Kusachiba recognized that this girl was the beauty that many otakus, including Kusachiba, had fantasized about in their previous lives. Mizukage, ninja of the double-blood successor, 5th generation Terumi Mei. Kusachiba from Kusanagi village is our biggest enemy at Kurigakure, and you actually want to follow the enemy. Terumi Mei didn't think much of Kusachiba. Song looked at Momochi Zabuza with an indignant look. Momochi Zabuza looked at Terumi Mei with a cold face. Master Kusachiba is so powerful, shouldn't I learn from him and continue to stay in this village without any hope? We will work hard to make the village better. Terumi Mei clenched her fists and looked at Kusachiba with an unkind look on her face. When the time comes, we will definitely seek revenge on Kusanagi village. Then, let's take revenge when the time comes. Kusachiba stood calmly in front of Momochi Zabuza and BD said to this hot young lady. Kusachiba, shut up. I haven't spoken to you yet. You killed our Kurigakure Mizukage, and we will definitely avenge you. Terumi Mei looked at Kusachiba bitterly and said. Kusachiba smiled coldly. So, you are forcing me to kill you now. Otherwise, it seems that I will not leave my enemy behind. Kusachiba, do you think you can still kill us? The other Kurigakure masters slowly stood up. If a woman dares to stand up, masters like them are naturally embarrassed to continue to be cowards. Moreover, in their opinion, Kusachiba had just experienced an extremely terrifying battle, and I am afraid that his chakra is no longer enough. In this case, they naturally don't have much fear of Kusachiba. Just in time, I also want to find a weapon for Momochi Zabuza. Kusachiba squinted at these fog ninjas with a touch of excitement in his eyes. If it was an unprovoked killing, Kusachiba would naturally be reluctant to do it. But it would be different if these people came to die on their own. Terumi Mei looked at Kusachiba's excited expression and felt bad. Don't get excited, everyone. We at Kurigakure are a reasonable place. We are different from some people. As a double-blooded ninja, Terumi Mei still has a very good prestige in Kurigakure, and the other ninjas are really ready to take action. Are you being reasonable? It just so happens that I am also a reasonable person. Kusachiba squinted his eyes and chuckled. If Kusachiba could not do anything to Terumi Mei, he would naturally not want to do it. He said with a smile. Then do you know that many of Mizukage's behaviors are very abnormal? Do you think that he seems to have no idea of vigorously developing the hidden village? A flash of suspicion flashed in Terumi Mei's eyes. How did he know this situation? However, it seems that everyone knows that Master Mizukage is implementing tyranny in the village. It is normal for him to know this. Haha, you think this is a normal thing. I'm afraid you don't know that your Mizukage-sama has been controlled by someone, right? Kusachiba looked at Terumi Mei's suspicious look and said a shocking thing information. Not only Terumi Mei, but also many other mist ninjas also started to make an uproar. I hope everyone will support it and subscribe more.